This is Dave Jones from VideoEffectsUniverse.com, and today's tutorial is cloning in After Effects. Now if you don't know what cloning is, watch this video and it will give you a basic demonstration. And there you go. As you see, it looks like there's two of me, like I've got a twin brother. In fact, I don't at all. Basically, it's just me filmed in two separate sequences. Now, let me explain how it's done. Okay, here is the raw footage. It's all filmed in one sequence. Now, basically, this is how it starts out. You see me come in, and I'm looking over my shoulder, and there's nothing there. Yet I'm looking like I'm talking to somebody. I finish what I'm saying. I look back at the camera for a second, and then I move over to the right, as you can see, and I do the same thing. I come in from the right, look over to my left, pretend that I'm listening to what's been said originally, and then I reply. And again, for the second sequence, same thing again. I come in, I sit down, I look over, say something, look back at the camera, then I get up, walk over to the other side of the room, come in from the other side, sit down, look and talk. And that's all it is. That's all cloning is. Now, before I start with the tutorial, I need to explain a few things that you need to do for this to work. Firstly, when you film this, you have to make sure that your camcorder is perfectly still throughout this sequence. So put it on a tripod, put it on a table, just basically put it anywhere where it's not likely to move. Because if the camera moves, this sequence will not work. Secondly, if you are interacting with your clone by talking to him or whatever, you have to make sure that you time it right. Because when you come in the first time, you look to the clone that's not there yet, you say something, and then you go over to the other side, and then you take over the other clone. The last thing you want to do is to time it wrong, where the second one listens and talks at the wrong moment, because otherwise what you'll end up with is two clones talking at exactly the same time. So the second one is basically replying before the first one's finished talking. If we go over to here, you can see that I've got my separate clips. We've got the first scene here and we've got the second scene here. Now, when you want to line it up, basically you can turn off the eye here, and basically what you get is the bottom sequence here, and if I turn the eye back on, we have the top sequence. Now if you're trying to set the time right so that when they're talking to each other they don't overlap, press T and bring the opacity down, and basically you'll have two ghost see-through like characters. And basically what you want to do is look at how they look at how they act together, and if one of them's if they're both talking at the same time, which would be about here, they're both talking at the same time, you just basically want to adjust the timeline so you get it right. Okay, that way you'll time it perfectly right where they're not talking over the top of each other. Right, okay, let's just bring the opacity back up. Now obviously with the top layer, he doesn't come in until this point here, so we can actually move this along, it doesn't matter at all. Concentrate solely on the top layer. We don't want to worry about the bottom layer, and we get the pen tool. Okay, actually if we start off from over here, it works out a lot better. Basically draw an outline around the character. Okay, try and get quite a few mask points, the more the better really. Okay, get quite a few and just go around the body. Now you don't need to get as close to the body as possible, but it does help sometimes in some instances. Okay, and once you click on the final one, there we go. As you can see, we've now got both scenes on top of each other, and if I just turn off the mask for a second, you can see that there we go, there's two of me. Now if we zoom in, we notice there's a problem. For some reason the lighting is different on the second clone than it is on the first clone. Now one way to sort this out is to bring up your masks and feather it out. It changes it slightly, but not too much. So you can still see that there's like an aura around me. So the alternative for that is to click on Effect, Colour Correction, Brightness and Contrast, and basically what you want to do is bring the brightness down only a little bit so that the lighting is exactly the same. Okay. Now that we've got our mask around the character, if I just turn it on, there we go. Right. Here comes the annoying part. You click on your mask shape, and you basically now need to animate it so that I'm inside that mask. Now, and obviously you can see now I've gone out of the mask slightly. So what I want to do, just before my face goes completely out of it, I just want to move. Oops. I just want to move the few key points that are affected when I move my head. So as you can see, you don't need to do it every keyframe because After Effects calculates, and as you can see, oh, still in a bit. Let's just move this about here. There we go. Now, there we go. As you can see, the mask moves with me. Now, if I keep moving down here, there's a lot of movement now just as I come into the screen. So obviously adjust the masks when needed. Right. Try and get them as close to the body as possible. They don't need to be directly on the body. Just sort of make a little sort of force field around the body of masks. Let's move this down here. I say, as you can see, there's a lot of messing about. Obviously, when you get close to your other clone, you have to make sure that the points are very close to the clone that you're actually putting the mask around, because otherwise it can cause problems. Okay, so obviously when you get scenes like this bit here, where their arms almost interlock, you've got to try and make sure that you keep it as close to the top layer as possible. Okay, I've edited the scene quite a bit, and basically I've got quite a decent set going here. And if I just pan out slightly, you'll see that the mask has ended up right out here where I should be. And if we see, there we go, we have a whole sequence where I'm just standing there and the masks are adjusting themselves around me. Okay, now if I turn the masks off, zoom in, what we can do now is try and see if we can notice any small problems like misting. Now the misting is caused by the feathering, and obviously if you get like a white or lighter sort of ghost effect on your arm or part of your body, basically turn your mask back on and find the point and just move it slightly out of the way, and basically the misting should go then. Okay, or alternatively another way to sort this out is to feather it out a bit more. Obviously make sure you check your background without the mask and check it back in again, and there you go. Just basically go through all your footage and make sure that, like I say, there's no misting or anything like that. Okay. Obviously if you see here we still have a slight problem, so I just need to feather that out again slightly. It's either that or going through your brightness. So obviously the same goes for the second video. I'm not going to go through the tutorial again, but it's the same principle. As you can see, this is where I come in the first time, and this is where I come in the second time. Obviously as I'm sitting down, you don't need to do a full body mask, just start around the arm, the head, the arms again, and round the leg, and come out here. You don't need to go in between the legs or anything like that. Okay then. Well, basically that's the tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. This can be quite a good thing for making an army of soldiers out of just one person. Obviously, so long as you don't show the face, if they're wearing helmets and got their heads down, that works well. You can have loads of unpaid extras. Just remember that you know, you have to change their clothes, because otherwise you'll have 100 extras all wearing the same thing. Okay, my name's Dave. And I'm from VideoEffectsUniverse.com. Come check us out. If you need any tutorials or help with anything, log on to the forum and we'll help you out as best as we can. Bye.